Hi everybody, welcome to A Notch Higher Living YouTube channel, where the space is created to cultivate healthy relationship skills that can be learned, developed, practiced, and ultimately to thrive. This is the weekend after Thanksgiving. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and this is the last video that I will be posting for the year 2020. I began in my vehicle and I chose to end in my vehicle today. So if you've been watching any of the videos, and I know I don't have a lot of people watching the videos, but I thank everyone who has checked out a video this year since I started in June of this year. So thank you so much for coming along with me. I have been going over the topic of forgiveness and having a forgiveness challenge for myself, and welcome you to do the same. So today is going to be the culmination of what I've been doing as of right now. I still will be going through the end of the year with this forgiveness challenge, but I wanted to also share a couple of resources that in the last few weeks that I've been looking through and I've gotten as I've been going through this challenge, and giving you an honest update on how this has been helping me. It really has been helping me to see the places that I've been stuck in my relating to other people, family, friends, co-workers, people that I don't like, people that don't like me. For those who would say, well, what would that matter? The reason why it would matter for the latter group of people is because I think I have put more attention than what's necessary to an energy in that group of people, as opposed to intentionally focusing on those in my life that I want to have better relating skills with and relationships with and relating style. So that really came up for me because it caused me to see that I don't have to be in a close relationship or combative relationship with people who are not for me, or who are not to be in my life, or are not to be in their life. I can simply have a heart that doesn't hold resentment and a heart that doesn't hold grudges, and release people to live their life. They're doing it anyway, but what I really see is that I have been holding on and not releasing as I should. So there's one thing that I read a book. It's called I Had to Change by Charlotte Lewis. And what was really interesting is that she provided a description, or a definition, of condoning versus forgiving. And it really helped me see. So I want to share with you in case this would help you as well. So the definition that she had for forgiveness, or to forgive, it meant to cease to feel resentment against an offender. So forgiving is to cease to feel resentment against an offender. But then the word condone, it means to pardon or overlook voluntarily, especially to treatment as if trivial, harmless, or of non-importance, or of no importance. So I'm gonna read it again. To condone means to pardon or overlook voluntarily, especially to treat as if trivial, harmless, or of no importance. And the reason why she explained that to us, which really helped me, and I hope it helps you in your challenge, is that sometimes I have thought if I'm forgiving someone, I'm condoning the behavior. And what she really broke down for me, and what I saw, is that condoning and forgiving is two different things. And simply because I choose to forgive, it doesn't mean that I'm agreeing and I'm condoning bad behavior that may have happened to me or against me. And for me, it really helped me see that that's how sometimes I have chosen to not forgive, because I didn't want to feel like the person was getting off, so to speak, off the hook. And because it still hurts, and because there's pain there, I didn't feel like that was fair. But what I'm seeing is that it's not a matter of it being fair for anyone who is a Christ follower. Christ chose to die and forgive us, forgive the world, forgive me. I will use me, forgive me, and you can use you as well. What I'm saying is that he chose to forgive me when I was still doing wrong against him. So it wasn't that he chose to forgive because I was at a change of heart. And because I've received that forgiveness in this challenge, I've had to sit with that to say, someone may not be in a right heart posture, or so I think, towards me, but that's not my basis anymore for forgiving. It's not that I'm condoning behavior that's been against me or that's wrong against me. What I'm doing is choosing to release any resentment, against the offender. And that is what changes the beat of my heart, the beat of my mindset, and then my emotions. So I really have had to grapple and wrestle with that because it's changed the ballpark. I don't think that I meant to say that, but it changed the game in the ballpark and put me into a different ballpark to say that, I'm not condoning bad behavior. What I am is letting go and releasing all resentment and still being on a daily trajectory of learning how to let resentment go. Because what I've experienced in the last few weeks is that resentment for me has been this bottleneck of emotions where I felt really hard. I really felt where I couldn't feel good or bad emotions. It was a numbing. So now that I'm releasing and allowing the resentment to go away and to dissipate and to drain out, it's like now I can feel what it actually feels like when things are coming at me. Because truthfully, I've gotten numb, or I grew numb or hardened to it. Like things didn't bother me, and it didn't on the surface or on the external, but really what it really did was my defense mechanism of not having things feel painful, hurtful, and where I'm sad or I'm resentful and or I'm mad, and been really acknowledging I'm angry at certain things or irritated at certain ways that I've been treated or I've allowed myself to be treated. And that's been a big factor. I think early on, if you would have asked me about this, I know that forgiveness is the right thing to do. So I know I have said I've forgiven, but not truly released the forgiveness. So what has happened is that I have this facade, or I've had a facade, and that's what's created the wall. Because the wall is, I forgive. Yes, I'm okay. I'm forgiving, or I'll forgive, or I'm forgiving. And it's like, no, I'm not even acknowledging. So that's been the big thing for me in these last few weeks. In order to forgive, I have to acknowledge that I've been hurt. And now understanding that forgiveness doesn't have the connotation that I am condoning the hurt or condoning bad behavior, poor behavior. And I say this, piss poor behavior, I'm not condoning it. I'm choosing not to allow that to consume me. And then one other thing, on the 24th of November, I'm going through a devotion through Marshawn Daniels. It's called 100 Days to Believing Bigger. And while this is not a book that I am reviewing, if you were interested in the book, I'll leave a link below. And on day 59, which was the 24th, the day before Thanksgiving, it has a theme called Unforgiveness. And I simply want to read this for this last video, because she has the theme, a verse, a devotion, and a question. And then she closed out with a prayer. So that's what I'm going to do today. So unforgiveness, it's considered a blessing blocker. Ephesians 4:32 from the New American Standard Bible. It says to be kind to one another, tenderhearted, forgiving each other, just as God in Christ has also forgiven you. Forgiveness is the only way forward. We might believe that, but it isn't always easy to do, especially not right after hurt visits. Don't let people or religiosity make you feel guilty because it doesn't happen in an instant. Deliverance isn't magic, and forgiveness can become a self-defeating obsession, especially when everyone is telling you over and over how you have to forgive, but no one tells you how to do it. Actually, forgiveness isn't about focusing on forgiveness. Now, listen to this. You'll feel like the right thing to do is pray about what happened to you, and that's a trap. Here's the thing. We have to shift from simply praying about the problem and instead start visualizing the solution. The key to forgiveness is to shift from the pain to focusing on the future, promise, and possibility. I'm going to read that again. The key to forgiveness is to shift from the pain to focusing on the future, promise, and possibility. Focusing on things that lift us out of the ditch of despair and disappointment. Ask God to give you a new vision of yourself and make you a woman or man able to walk in forgiveness and trust, not bitterness. Pray for what you want to come. Don't keep rehearsing what's already been removed. We must keep committing to dumping out our hearts, the dirt left over by others. When we replay our worst memories, we wound our self-esteem and re-anchor ourselves in the past. I'm going to say that again because I didn't get that out, but I want you to hear it. When we replay our worst memories, we rewound our self-esteem and re-anchor ourselves in the past. Replaying masked as trying to forgive is why it can be incredibly hard to get unstuck. Stop setting a timeline. Be patient with yourself, yet still be intentional about how you approach each day. Stay focused daily on moving forward and onto a bigger vision and purpose. This is a better investment of your energy and puts you on the path of healing and elevation. So the question that came up for this devotion is, instead of trying to forgive what happened to you, how can you focus forward on the bigger vision that God has for you? So how can you focus forward on the bigger vision that God has for you? And I'm going to leave you that question for the rest of the year. I'm going to continue this challenge, but what I realize is that the challenge is not something that I need to personally have on video for everyone. I want to come back in the 2021 new year with a story of how I have started implementing forgiveness in a regular habit forming new lifestyle type of way. Not because I'm hiding what I'm doing. I think sometimes in the social media space, people like to see what you're doing in real time. What I've learned with that is that it's good in certain instances. Not that a person needs to hide, but I think sometimes the flash of being seen has become more important than having our character developed. So see, it's easier for me to post something because I know that I'm accountable to someone else. But there's a point that I am living in my life that I need to be accountable to myself first, not because I'm minimizing anybody else, but because between me and God, I have to be that person, whether anybody else sees it or not. And that's the one thing that I'm getting about forgiveness for myself. I want to forgive, and I want to be a forgiving woman and one that receives and gives forgiveness, whether or not it's ever applauded. And that's the one thing that for the rest of this year, there are things that I know I need to come away from and trying to not impress or to show and share with so many other people, But what I realize is if I live the life, my life will live and show itself. I may not have to say it. And sometimes it is, you need to be on a platform to speak. I'm not hiding from a platform. What I'm saying now is that let the platform be developed real and true and intentional and very deliberate in the dark for myself, so that, again, when I am seen with people on a regular basis, whether I am on social media or not, the person that I am is authentic and genuine. And it's not something that I'm doing for a like. It's the way I live my life. So the prayer simply says this: Lord, I accept what I can't explain and ask for a vision bigger than blame. I speak life into what I seek, not what I've seen. Amen. So again, this came from Marshawn Daniels, 100 Days to Believing Bigger. If you can see that, perfect. And this is the last video for 2020. And I am hoping that you have the rest of your year be one that is full of forgiveness and full of unlearning things that may no longer serve you, not to fix yourself, but to continue to improve and get better. It's okay to keep getting better because you are the best you. And you are a wonderful representation of the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. If you do not know the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, you can also get to know him too. So I am not going to belabor the point. I thank you so much for hanging out with me through these few months during Corona and quarantining. And again, the forgiveness, I keep wanting to say unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is not what we want to move forward in. So the forgiveness challenge is what I will end out this year. And I hope and pray that your life will be touched in a way that only can be touched with deliberate intention and focus faith. So have a great day, the rest of the week, and a great year. I'm out. Bye.